Hey everybody, welcome to HockeySkatedown. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. I want to do a video on Timo Meier. Is it possible for the New Jersey Devils to trade with the San Jose Sharks to acquire him? So I was waiting for the game between the Devils and the Sharks, and I wanted to watch Timo Meier closely. I followed him throughout his career, but when you hear trade rumors involving the player, you tend to watch the player a bit more closely. You want to see different aspects of the way they play, with and without the puck. And, I was blown away with him. But, watching this game, it was a fun game to watch. The Devils were trailing 3-2 very late into the third period. With seconds to spare, Jack Hughes took a shot, deflected off Erik Karlsson's stick. Devils tied the game. Went into overtime where both teams had even chances to score. And, went into a shootout where the Devils, where Tomas Tatar scored the only goal and Vitek Vanacek stopped Barabanov. And the Devils were able to get 2 points in this game to come back with the victory. And, it was a good character win. And, it was a great game. But, my thing for this game was I wanted to watch Timo Meier closely. And I was blown away by the way this guy played. He had a great goal, which I'll talk about in detail. He had a nice assist to Erik Karlsson. 8 shots on goal, 2 big hits, 21 minutes of ice time. And he was all over the ice. And, I like the way he played. He's got a big frame. He played physical. He gave hits. He took hits. Even when the Devils were trying to get the puck away from him, he was good with his puck protection. He was good in the corners. Had a couple of other opportunities to score with some shots on net. And, I liked his overall game. And, the question is, as we near the trade deadline, can the Devils afford Timo Meier? Can they trade for him with the assets they have? And can they afford him going forward? So I want to talk about that all in this video, so please stay with me throughout. So looking at Timo Meier, he's listed as a left wing, right wing, so he's a versatile winger. His cap hit is $6 million AAV. He's 26 years old, so he's still in the prime of his career. He's 6 foot, 210 pounds. Other websites had him at 220, so he's got a solid frame. He's a 2015 first-round pick of the San Jose Sharks, 9th overall. His contract expires at the end of this season, the 22-23 season, and his expiry status is RFA. But the thing that's scaring a lot of people off is his qualifying offer is $10 million. And, the thing I want to talk about is, go back a couple of years where the whole Jesperi Kotkaniemi situation came about. And it's not exactly the same, but it's, the player had a higher qualifying offer, but when they went to work out a new contract, the AAV was lower. So hopefully this is the situation with Timo Meier. Kotkaniemi had a $6.1 million qualifying offer. He signed that contract in 2021, 2022. He then signed a long-term deal for 8 years for $38.56 million, which broke down to $4.82 million AAV. So his qualifying offer was 6.1, and his AAV going forward was 4.82. So hopefully that's a situation that can occur with Timo Meier. I know Tom Fitzgerald is looking to, build a core where the players are making kind of in between where Hischier is and Hamilton is. So, they don't want to exceed that, which is good. That's what you want to have. You want to have players locked into, contracts that work out for the player and work out for the team as well. So, going into Timo Meier, looking at his stats, this year he's having a really good year. 22-23, played in 45 games, 25 goals already, 20 assists, and 45 points. So, working at a point per game pace to at the midway point of this year. In 2021-2022, he played in 77 games, 35 goals, 41 assists for 76 points. He fell 1 point shy of a point per game pace. In 2020-2021, he played in 54 games, 12 goals, 19 assists, 31 points. And in 2019-2020, he played in 70 games, 22 goals, 27 assists for 49 points. Looking at his career, he's played in 439 games, 148 goals, 161 assists for 309 points. And looking at him in the playoffs, 35 games played, 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 points, which is not that bad. Looking at his career overall, he's a 5-time 20-goal scorer, a 3-time 25-goal scorer, 25-plus goal scorer, I should say. And he's a 2-time 30-goal scorer, which he'll definitely hit that mark again this year. And looking at this year, he's top 15 in goals with 25, and he's top 10 in power play goals. And that's something that the Devils need to have that they need to look at if they're looking to acquire a player. Are they good on the power play? The Devils have a really solid first unit, but their second unit on the power play has Erik Hall on it. So you want to have that power distributed on both lines to be successful on the power play. So they should look at bringing in someone who's efficient on the power play, and Timo Meier is. So looking at the whole contract thing, the Devils do have a lot of contracts coming off the books next year, so they can afford this. Question is, can they lock in Jesper Bratt long-term and Timo Meier long-term? That's something you want. Fitzgerald has said in several interviews that he's not looking to bring in a UFA. So he wants to bring in someone that's young who possibly could sign long-term with the team. And if you're losing assets, that's exactly what you want. You want to bring in someone who's fairly young, who can sign in long-term with your team and be a piece of the core going forward. And I would really like if Meier is, because honestly, I really like the way he played against us. And looking at the connections that the Devils have with the Sharks, Mike Grier, actually first and foremost, I should say, Nico Hischier and Timo Meier played for Team Switzerland, so you have that connection. They're friends. You have the connection of Mike Grier, who is the GM of the San Jose Sharks, who was a Devils assistant coach not too long ago, so he has familiarity with the organization, especially Tom Fitzgerald. And then you have the situation with Alexander Holtz and William Eklund, and I'll mention that in a little bit with Holtz because I really think he's going to be involved in this trade possibly. So, looking at what could go towards the San Jose Sharks, in a return. They did come out and say with Erik Karlsson they want to get 3 first-round picks for him. Of course, they're going to ask for the moon, and they're going to settle for something in the middle. I don't think they're going to get 3 first-round picks for Erik Karlsson, but with the San Jose Sharks rebuilding with Timo Meier and Erik Karlsson, they're going to try to get as much as they can back for him. So you're going to have a lot of teams, if they can afford them, really pushing to acquire him. And I think the Devils can. The Devils have the assets. They have the young prospects in their system. They have good draft. They've drafted well over the past years where they do have really strong prospects. They have the picks, and they do have the cap space to afford if they were to make a move. So, for me, usually when you're seeing a high talented player like Timo Meier, it's usually a first-round pick, a really good prospect, a roster player, and then you're throwing around picks and prospects as well, if that's possible. So, I think one package may include Yegor Sharangovich. He's not having, the best of years to start this year. In 44 games, he's got 10 goals, 11 assists, 21 points. I know he's starting to pick it up as of late, and he's a streaky player, but, with the Devils on the verge of making the playoffs, you're going to need a consistent player in your top 6. And, with Sharangovich really going up and down the lines, I could see him being a person that, the Sharks would like to target. He had a really good year not too long ago, and he does have potential to put up some points. So I think there's an attraction with Sharangovich with several teams, and you're going to have to throw in your first-round pick in 2023, which I'm okay with. If the Devils give in a first-round pick, I'm really okay with it. The Devils have lucked out with several drafts over the past couple of years. We have strong prospects in our system at defense, in goal, and at forward. So I'm okay with giving up a first-round pick, especially if it's going to be a later first-round pick. And the only thing is, we might have to give up Alexander Holtz, especially if it's the Sharks. He has familiarity playing with William Eklund. They played together on Team Sweden, and they did have chemistry playing together. So I think that's going to be a strong case that Mike Grier may ask for Holtz in the deal. So as long as the Devils don't give up Luke Hughes, Simon Nemec, if they don't give up Seamus Casey, because he looks very promising as well, and Josh Philman I like too. I see promise in that kid as well. If they can hold on to those picks, those prospects, and several more, I think they'll be okay. The Devils have a strong future with what they've drafted in the past couple of years. But, it's going to take a roster player. Another scenario is, which I don't think might happen, I don't think Severson gets moved. I think the Devils are going to hold on to him, especially when you want that depth of defense, especially in a long playoff series. He does log heavy minutes. He's a good right-handed shot, but Fitzgerald has went out and said that it's going to take a massive return for the Devils to give up on Damon Severson. So, but if Erik Karlsson is traded prior to Timo Meier, I could see them asking for Damon Severson. They're going to want a top 4 right shot defenseman who logs heavy minutes and can put up points and be an offensive person for them. So I could see him possibly being in the mix going the other way and a first-round pick and/or Holtz and prospects and picks. So, you know, there's several situations that the Devils can look at. It depends what Mike Grier wants to throw around to Tom Fitzgerald. Does he like Fabian Zetterlund as a piece? Does he like Jesper Boquist as a piece? Does he like Kevin Ball? The Devils have a lot of players who, if they involve in a trade, you know, might be able to land Timo Meier. So, you know, keep an eye on this as the trade deadline nears. We have a little bit of time, but you're going to start seeing these rumors ramp up. I know the Devils haven't been linked to the Sharks. There hasn't been rumors, but it's such a strong case where there's so many links between the Devils and the Sharks that I really feel like this could be a possibility. And Timo Meier in our top 6 would really strengthen our case. And, you know, at this point, you're going to have to start to look at how does the Devils measure up to the top teams in the East? Can we beat them in a long, grueling 7-game match? You know, so that's what the Devils have to, and Tom Fitzgerald, I'm sure, is considering. He wants to bring in certain elements to the Devils. I'm sure he wants to bring in a top 6 player who can play with Jack Hughes. I know the Haula and Tatar situation has worked out somewhat, but you want to see him play with the dynamic goal scorer. You want to get the best out of Jack Hughes, and to see what we're getting without a player like that, can you imagine if he has a 30, 40 goal scorer potentially on his line? Would be insanity. And you know, I know a lot of fans want to see Meier, if we get him, play with Hischier, but I really like what's developing between Hischier, Palat, and Brad. So I would like to see dynamic goal scorer playing with Jack Hughes. I really want to see how it would elevate him to be more productive, if that's possible. But you know, comment below, what do you think about this? What do you think about Timo Meier possibly being a target for the New Jersey Devils? Comment below and let me know. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to HockeySkatedown. It's free, and join our hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night. Take it easy. Stay safe.